my name's Al. Today I'm talking about a blue, squishy ball Pokemon. It's Azumarill in the Pokemon TCG. So as of now, we have just had the introduction of the latest set, Surging Sparks. Surging Sparks has a number of cool Pokemon added to the game, including a big Pikachu EX who can hit for 300 damage and has the ability Sturdy. Essentially. I think Pikachu EX is the main star, but for me and for others, there is another one, and that other one is gonna be Azumarill. This Azumarill might not look super special initially. It's a purple Azumarill, it has 120 HP, and it evolves from Marill. Okay, cool. All this stuff is cool. But it's not until you get to the ability that things get interesting. The ability here on this Azumarill says that you essentially can hit for 230 damage, also doing 50 damage to yourself, for 1 psychic energy if you have a Tera Pokemon in play. That is awesome. Now, in the Pokemon TCG, we don't actually have a lot of single prize decks, like say. So we have huge basic Pokemon who cost, 2 prizes, and everybody's trying to gung-ho and just go 2-2-2 on prizes to take all 6 to win, stuff like that. Single prize Pokemon just don't hit hard enough when compared to these huge EX Pokemon who you can just play instead. And a lot of decks like to go really fast, and they like to just hit other EXs with their EXs or the Vs, like there's a lot going on. But you throw in single prizers and sometimes it can disrupt a little bit. This Azumarill might not be on the same level as Regidrago right now, but it is super fun to slot into existing decks or try and make something around it to utilize, because honestly I like the idea of having a Tera Pokemon in play and then having this single prize squishy Azumarill be able to hit 230, which is super respectable. And so we're gonna look at how we can make that work today. The first question when asking for building Azumarill is gonna be, what Tera Pokemon are you gonna have in the deck to make it play off? One option could be Tera EX. Tera is a Tera Pokemon that just recently came out in the previous set, and it has the attack Unified Beatdown, who lets you attack for 2 colorless energy for as much as your bench can hold, 30 at a time. It can be hitting for like 240, which is cool. And if we had 5 bench spaces, it's not great. Not as good. But we can have up to 8 with Area 0. And Tera right now is usually running its engine of Hoothoot and Noctowl to kind of get things going along and to build up bench space, and Azumarill could probably be slotted into that in order to have just another option. That's a potential one. Another potential one, right off the bat, would be Pikachu EX, the brand new Pikachu that we got. As I said, this Pikachu might not be able to attack in every deck because of its high attack cost and stuff. These stellar Pokemon have really convoluted costs sometimes, but we don't have to attack with Pikachu. We can simply have it as the Tera Pokemon who can't be KO'd in one shot. So if you have a Tera Pikachu, you are gonna make your opponent work just a little more in killing it, having to ping damage onto it first and then finishing it off. They might have something like Canceling Cologne, which can turn off Pikachu's ability and make it KO'able one shot. This can disrupt the opportunity and flow just a little bit, and it might be enough to continue the game for the long run. I think we're going to be playing for the long game here. Azumarill and single prize decks are taking 1 prize at a time rather than 2-2-2, so they are traditionally slower. And some decks are not really built for long games right now. People want to obviously win the fastest way that they can, and if you're only taking the 1 prize with Azumarill or something like that, it's gonna be a longer game. And decks like Raging Bolt, for example, can struggle against that pace of having to just be hitting single prize Pokemon. You will be forcing them to go for your supporters, your Tera Pokemon for example, and they would have to have resources to do that. And as the game drags on, the resources can get fewer and fewer. So that is something going forward as well. I am trying out Dragapult with Azumarill. Dragapult is a Tera Pokemon you can play, and this guy is a dragon type who can hit for 200 but then drops damage counters onto the bench. Dragapult itself as a deck is really nice right now, I would say, and a lot of people run it with the Dusknoir line or like Pidgeot, but having Azumarill around could be an interesting shakeup. Basically, like, the vision here, I think, is gonna be hitting for 200 onto active with Dragapult, and then you're dropping damage counters, and you're dropping those damage counters for Azumarill to then come up and clean up and be able to hit 230. Now, 230 damage is super respectable, especially for a one prizer like we're talking about, but it can be more powerful if we try and bump it up to, say, 240 even. 240 is a more relevant number, and we can do that with plus 10 damage via Vitality Band. If we have this tool card onto our Azumarill, we can hit for 240. That means we can hit like a Raging Bolt who has 240 HP without Bravery Charm. Right now, it's super rare to see a Raging Bolt without Bravery Charms on it, but once you get the Bravery Charm off, 240 will get you there. And as I said with the Dragapult, you can see that he can put some damage counters on to hit these higher numbers as well. 280, 2 whatever. You know, like, Dragapult can drop down 50 damage counters, for example, on a 280 Pokemon, like Drago, Pidgeot EX, like something like that. And then Azumarill can hit that 230 number to do the final knockout. Now, I know I'm making it sound super easy. It's not going to be so easy in your games, but this is a kind of strategy that you could maybe be trying out if you want to. I definitely want to. At least have some fun. I've also seen decks focused around Azumarill as the main party and main attacker, having engines like Bibarel and Bidoof be able to continuously draw cards here and there. There's also the potential engine of Purloin and Liepard. That could be interesting, but these are options to have with it. And with Azumarill, we're able to use maybe some cards that weren't really viable before. So like Tulip. Who was using Tulip? No one is. But now, Azumarill can maybe bring your Tulip out of the binder and into a deck. Isn't that great? What ace spec would you run in this? If we're talking about disruption and prize mapping and dragging the game out, and that being an advantage to us with Azumarill, how about Legacy Energy? Legacy Energy is an ace spec that allows you to command that the Pokemon that your opponent has knocked out takes one less prize card for it if this is attached to a Pokemon. So you get your Legacy Energy, you attach it to your Pokemon, and suddenly your Azumarill has a cost of 0 prize cards. And your opponent can choose to knock it out for 0 prize cards or have the resources and gusting and things to be able to work around it to get prize cards elsewhere. You can also, of course, use it on your Tera Pokemon to make your Tera Pokemon not 2 prizes when they die, only 1 prize. And this has an impact on the game, like I said, in flow, in, prize mapping. So that is an option. With Azumarill, we can also find tools such as Rescue Board, who helps in getting those 1 retreat cost Pokemon down to like a 0 retreat cost. I really like that in Dragapult and stuff already, and it could be used in there. Same with TM Evolution. If you're running like, your little Dreepies and Marils, and you need them to evolve fast, that's an option as well. You can also use it if you're doing a Bidoof Bibarel line, and you need them to evolve quick enough. Another one is, of course, the Vitality Band tool we're talking about, and I'm talking about all the tools because we are able to search them out kind of easily with the supporter Arven. Arven is going to be letting us get an item card and a tool card, and that's going to be stellar. There's a lot of options on tools that can help improve the deck and whatever you want to build. Azumarill is super fun, it looks like, and I want to have fun. So that's what I'm anticipating and very excited about. Now, of course, I'm not saying this is a BDIF kind of deal. It's not going to be maybe something you bring to a big tournament, but it's gonna be fun. It might be a stays at locals thing, but for now, that's awesome. And so yeah, that's what I implore you to try if you have any interest in giving it a shot. And I would love to hear your thoughts as well, your ideas, what you're up to in your deck building or what you're foreseeing, whatever you want to say. I appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you next time. Check out the channel for more content. It's kind of all over the place, but I would love to have you. All right. Thank you again for watching.